Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watch some movies.
Yeah.
So we keep talking about TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival 2020. It was held mostly online, well, completely online for press. So I watched a lot of great movies, and now I'm going to be talking about them for quite some time. So TIFF has a program. It has many programs. One of the most famous programs at TIFF, one of the most beloved programs at TIFF, is the Midnight Madness.
Naturally.
So when you are there in person, it's usually held at Ryerson. Hello, Ryerson. And it's held at midnight.
Every night at midnight.
Every night at midnight, they've got a genre film. And there's some great discoveries. There's some crazy movies there. So I was really excited because midnight is hard because we start our days at like 6 a.m.
Yep.
So it is hard to go and if a movie starts at midnight and then we have to go back to the hotel, I wouldn't be sleeping at all. So we have to really pick and choose. So because they were at home this year, we got to watch some. And we watched a couple of really good, crazy movies.
Yeah. And they are crazy.
Yes, they are.
That's the crazier, the better
yes,
in this category.
Absolutely. And so let's be really, say this right at the beginning, these are crazy movies. So if you love that from a horror movie, if you love embracing the weirdness, the bizarre, then these are for you. So the first one is Get the Hell Out. So by Fan Wang. It is a Taiwanese movie about a woman who goes into politics. So Ying-ying is her name, played by Megan Li. So she goes into politics because they're about to build a chemical plant and will have to like bulldoze her father's house to do it. So since, she agitates as a citizen, but realizes she's going to have to get into politics to get something done about this. But she also gets booted out of Parliament pretty quickly. There was a big fist fight, melee. I mean, she's a martial artist. She has a signature move. It's very exciting. Yeah. So there's a brawl. I mean, somebody is baiting her. She is a rival politician in the MP Li. This is played by Chung-wang. So he baits her into this fight.
He does.
And then makes a big deal in the press calling for her resignation.
He does.
Yeah. So she has to resign. But then she realizes that she can get somebody else to run in her place, and if it's somebody she can manipulate, even better.
Then it's basically as if she's still in there.
Yes. So, in fact, there is a little security guard, You-wei, that's played by Bruce Hung, who has a crush on her. Of course, he was sort of the reason she got in trouble and booted out the first time.
A little bit, yeah.
But he has an enormous crush on her, and so she knows.
Well,
and
they have a history.
They do have a history. So he gets in because he is lauded in the press as being the savior of getting this terroristic woman out of Parliament. So she is kind of pulling the strings on him. So then they're all in Parliament, in the office, whatever they call it in Taiwan. Her father, I think, is like a janitor there.
Yeah, I didn't really understand.
So that's how he is somehow there as well. And so the rival MP really is taking this vote very seriously for this chemical plant. He locks them all in Parliament.
Yep.
Which is inconvenient because the Prime Minister himself was recently out touring the place for the chemical plant and has brought back a bug.
Yep.
It is one of those viruses that everyone is going to catch because they should have limited their gatherings to 10 indoors, 25 out.
2 meters, people.
Yeah, but they didn't. And would you call this virus zombie-ish?
Totally.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
It's totally zombie-ish. And he just starts chowing down on all the MPs. They are locked in there just for extra fun.
So it's same basic zombie rules where if you get bitten, then you turn into one.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And they are bloodthirsty, my goodness. I mean, it's politicians, so there definitely is some very unsubtle satire taking place here. There's no doubt what they really think about Taiwanese politicians and what happens on the floor of Parliament. And of course, Ying-ying is watching up from the press up above, and she sees both her boyfriend, I mean, not boyfriend yet, and father are down there trapped with all of these, I mean, multiplying zombies by the second here. So it's just a bloody free-for-all. Yep. It is ecstatically fun, as long as this is what you are settling down for. It is not for everyone, and that is fine. But it is just a gleeful, unapologetic zombie movie. And the closed quarters add an extra level of fun.
They do, yeah. I mean, this is sort of a rarity for a zombie movie because it is really just contained in this one area that they have to get out from.
Yes. So there are some pretty spectacular moves going on. The director has larger than life, almost cartoony violence. In places, it reminded me of Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim. Yes, just the like almost video game send-ups. You know, there's just little fun little things like that. They're run the gamut. These poor people are armed sometimes by as much as an axe and sometimes by as little as a pair of nail clippers.
But they make it work.
They make it work. And sometimes they don't make it work.
And then they become a zombie.
And then they become a zombie. That's right. So I just thought this one was like, I mean, it's stupid, of course, but it's wonderful because it just embraces the genre so wholeheartedly.
It goes for it.
And so if you're up for a zombie movie, this one is a lot of fun.
Yes.
So the second one we're going to talk about, directed by Roseanne Liang, called Shadow in the Cloud. So I remember reading the synopsis of this and being like, okay, I'm up for this. It's Chloe Grace Moretz. She's playing a pilot in the army during World War II. So I knew that going in, and I guess I read it with my 2020 glasses on, because I forgot that they would not exist. That this would be a weird thing for there to be a female pilot. And certainly when she walks on this plane, all of the other guys are like, what the heck is going on? Who are you, Maude Garrett? What are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, I have a top secret mission. You're not really allowed to ask about it. You'll get court-martialed if you have too many questions. Here's the official document saying I'm here. Here's my super important briefcase of secret documents. So, yes, she tells them a story about how she is, in fact, in the army and how this is possible. But they're just like...
They don't really buy it.
They don't really buy it, but they don't have time to really question it. They're a little worried. The documents look kind of official enough that they're like, you know what? Let's put her down in the sealed gun turret. That's a dick move. Like, they give her the worst seat in the plane. It's barely attached to the plane.
It is, yeah. The plane is not in good shape.
And it's such a tiny little bubble, she can't even bring the briefcase with her. So she is really does not want to give that up, but has no choice. Now, during the flight, the entire movie is just this air flight. They're dealing with some weather. Things do not go as well as you might hope. And they're also picking apart her story over the radio. And she's starting to feel like this little gun turret. Is that what we should call it?
Yeah.
Okay. This little gun turret is kind of falling apart. There's a hole in it. She's got to plug it with her own kerchief. The knobs are falling off. The whole thing.
Yeah, she tries to get out, and that's right.
Cannot.
She cannot. She's now locked in there.
Yeah. And away from her secret documents, which she's not comfortable with. And then she starts to see things. She thinks that there's some kind of big creature.
Like a gremlin?
Not the nice gremlins.
Oh, no.
And they aren't even that nice, but they're way
They're
more
smaller.
nice than, yeah. So of course they think she's seeing things until actually there is some supernatural something flying around with them and prying apart their plane.
Yep.
So, and she is trapped in a gun turret. All of her, and there are actually like enemies firing on
there
them.
are. Yep, they're flying through enemy territory.
Yeah. So this is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of things working against them. She's on a top secret mission and everything is going wrong. So it's a wonderful sense of claustrophobia for her because she is stuck in this place that is falling apart and she is so high up in the air and there's just no good options for her. Everyone else on the plane thinks she's a liar. They're all against her. She's got not a friend. They don't even want to let her out. She already feels uncomfortable having left the secret briefcase and not in her own possession. I mean, whew. And it's dark and it's storming and you keep getting glimpses that maybe there really is something out there, like what's going on. So it's a horror movie. It's definitely not a real story from World War II because it does have elements in it that are hopefully pretend.
Yeah, I mean, the gremlins were a thing. They were an urban legend.
Mm-hmm. So
because they did take apart your plane.
Well, what if that was true?
What if it was?
And having a woman on board is just the curse they didn't need.
Yeah, that's obviously bad luck. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they took off. So Nick Robinson is in this movie. There's actually, who else is in it? Callan Mulvey is in it, Taylor John Smith, Beulah Cole, who we know he's a New Zealand actor that we really like, Benedict Wall, Joe Witkowska, and Byron Cole. So really, that's the whole movie, is just people in this plane.
On the plane.
They're getting shot up, they're going down. It's like a bad night to be in the army, let's just say.
That is.
So I also thought that was a good,
It's
tense.
good. It's very tense.
Yeah,
And
scary little.
It knows it.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to be suspenseful at first, and then you'll peel back the curtain, and it just gets wild.
Does get wild. There are lots of layers to this. And I don't think I'd ever seen a horror movie set in World War II before like this. So I thought that was a fun little layer, a change of pace, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. And by a female director, which we don't see enough horror by female directors. So I was glad to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 2 Midnight Madnesses that
Jane
we
made it
liked.
through both.
I did. I was really good, actually, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Yeah.
Not even any
I'm becoming
screaming.
such a pro at this, guys. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to earn your badge any day now.
Ooh, the badge.
There's
If there
a
was the
badge.
badge, I would have worked way harder on this way sooner. Anyway, so we will update you on release dates for these. If you like horror, these are a lot of fun.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.